So Donald Trump's favorite pastor, Darrell Scott out of Cleveland, he's being sued. Now he's being sued because he haven't been paying rent on his mansion that's 14,000 square feet. And I want you to hear the details of how he was paying for this. Let's go roll the clip.
I'm really in a tough situation.
Munna Argarwal's sprawling 14,000 square foot Solon house boasts a 500 square foot master bath, cavernous walk-in closets, and 8 fireplaces.
Getting into the dining room here.
It's empty now because Argarwal says Darrell and Belinda Scott weren't making payments on time. Facing eviction, he says they moved out so quickly last summer, the couple left extensive damage in the basement, and the alarm system they had installed is still chirping.
So you're saying he owes you
$563,000
based on the time that he spent living here,
right,
not even including actually purchasing the house?
That's correct, yes.
Argarwal says it was a lease-to-own deal hashed out in 2010 out of desperation because of the slow economy. This handwritten agreement signed by the Scotts shows they were making weekly rent payments.
I've never heard of that before. Why is he paying for this weekly?
Because he got collection from the church. That's the reason.
So he's basically living week to week.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
In text messages to Argarwal, Scott concedes his numbers are down at the church daycare, and he's driving a 9-year-old car, adding, "I don't live lavishly."
Is this lavish living to you?
Of course it is.
And what is your view?
Scott, who rose to prominence for his early support of Donald Trump's presidential campaign, has turned down multiple requests for an on-camera interview. But in a text message, he called this a fake lawsuit.
He says it's a fake lawsuit. He says it's going to get thrown out.
Well, we'll see. I mean, we'll see. My attorney feels that this is like a 110% guaranteed.
Now, Darrell Scott, you are one despicable human being, and you a coon at the same time. You sitting up there chummying it up with Trump, going to all his little meetings, going to Trump Tower, going everywhere, and you not paying your rent. And the second thing that we need to point out on top of that, what are you doing in a 14,000 square foot home? Listen, I don't have a problem with anybody working hard and purchasing something like that. I'm good with that. But the fact is, you were taking church people's money, taking that tithe money. Y'all love to pay them tithes to them churches. He's paying week to week. You saw that paper, it said $1,500. 2,500, there's so on and so on and so on. 2,500 is a mortgage for people. 1,500 is a mortgage for people for the month, not for the week. You sitting up there taking those church people's money. I guarantee you they was not living in a 14,000 square foot home, the people giving you the money. How many times have you had all the church people over at your house having a good time over there? You had the room. Then you wasn't paying this man at all? What kind of preacher are you? See, this is these pimp pastors that I've been telling y'all about. These pimp pastors, all they good for the ones who's doing that, of course, not all, either sleeping with somebody's wife or taking money or both. What is wrong with y'all? He's talking about he don't have a lavish life. I saw the suits you were wearing, dude. Them suits you were wearing wasn't cheap. So what are you talking about? Now pay that man his money. And I hope he win, because he should win, because you owe him. And you need to pay that man every dime of his money, but you're not going to pay nothing. Because you're going to go in church and say, well, you know, I'm under attack from the devil and the devil's attacking me. But, you know, we stand together against Satan. We overcome this. So, you know, we're going to pick up a special collection for this lawsuit that the devil brought against us. Like, no, you the one that did it, but it's going to be the devil. Y'all play that devil game all day long when you are the ones that's doing stuff. You shy yourself from criticism. Well, you know, it's the enemy. Or, you know, you can't judge nobody. Anytime when it comes to accountability, this is why a lot of black people don't want nothing to do with these churches. And I'm glad in a lot of ways, because that version of Christianity that people like Darrell Scott is promoting, the slave master's version of Christianity, not the Christianity that was created by Christ himself, their version, because that stuff isn't right. Because there ain't no way I could be in the Bible every Sunday and taking money from people who aren't living like that and just living high off of the hog. Come on, man. Darrell Scott, you just despicable. You went up there and lied, talking about the gang members want to put the guns down in Chicago. They ain't put no guns down. What are you talking about? Who are you? Like, you got some sort of credit in Chicago where people respect you. If Father Flager couldn't get them to put no guns down, who are you? And he more respected in Chicago than you are. So why you think you just like waltz in there and told Trump that lie? You know, it's like I'm glad you're getting exposed. I love to see these coons get exposed. Sitting up here, run off with his mouth on TV, and now he ain't paying his doggone bills, taking money from the church house. It was in the church's name, wasn't even in his name. Sad, sad human beings to do some crap like that. Darrell Scott, you ought to feel ashamed of yourself. You need to repent before the Lord for what you've been doing. You don't need to be no pastor, no church, because a real pastor not going to steal from his congregation, not going to sit up here and tell lies, try to call a lawsuit fake when you did the crap. You don't want to answer for what you have done wrong. Pitiful. But I guess in the age of Donald Trump, when you don't agree with something, call it fake news, call it fake lawsuits. No, it's a real lawsuit, and he gonna win, and that'd be good for you. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about this. Share the video, like the commentary, and subscribe for more news stories.